how's it going? It is me, Megan, and I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark. And here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do sale videos, I'll do unboxings, I'll do all that good stuff. So if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. So in today's video, I'm just doing another What Sold Sunday. But first things first, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, especially my mom, who I'm sure is probably watching this. Hi Mom, I miss you. Happy Mother's Day. A nice day here. It's like really hot. It was really hot yesterday. So hopefully you guys all have nice weather for the day. But yeah, I'm just gonna be talking about what I sold this last week. It was kind of slow. It wasn't the best of weeks, but I have been listing like a lot more than normal. I went to the bins and then I got 200 pounds of clothes in a THREDUP mystery bulk box. So stay tuned for those videos. My plan is to open them really slowly, so it's not overwhelming, and I'm not, you know, if I have to donate a bunch of stuff or try and take stuff to like buy sell trade stores, I don't want my office to just be full of like bags of clothes and all of that. So I've only opened one box so far, but I'm kind of using it as like supplemental inventory. Does that even make sense? Is that even a word? Supplemental. Just so like sometimes it's a while between like my bin strips, like sometimes over a week, and I try and list 10 items a day. And sometimes, you know, I run out of items before I get to go back to the bins, and so I'll go to Goodwill and spend like $100 on like 10 things, maybe not even, and that only gives me like a little bit more to sell. So this way I have a bunch of clothes that I can, you know, sell if my bin stuff doesn't last me, but I still plan on going to the bins, if that makes sense. I'm a little tired today. Sorry about that. I woke up like at 6:30. So anyway, I'm just going to get into my sales. This is going to be sales from pretty much the first full week of May. So May 7th to yesterday, which was May 13th. Sunday, May 7th, I had 4 sales. I sold these Lululemon Fast and Free tights. I want to say I got these at the bins. I can't quite remember. I've been sitting on them for a little while. They're a really great style, but they did have some fabric wear to the back of them, which I did photograph. And, you know, especially if you were wearing them for athletic purposes, 1, you probably really wouldn't care, and 2, it was pretty hard to see. So it did take a little while to sell, but they did end up selling for $59, and after fees I made $47.20. Then I sold these Abercrombie & Fitch men's distress jeans. I got these at the bins. I think I knew they were men's, I want to say. I can't remember if I knew or if I found out. But yeah, they were men's. They had some like leather transfer color to the back of them from the leather patch, so they weren't in perfect condition, but they were still really nice. They ended up selling for $18, and after fees I made $12.38. Then I sold this Amanda Uprichard Ace dress. I've had this for a little while now. I got this maybe last winter at a Goodwill, so I spent $9.99 on it. I was so excited. It was the first time I found this brand. That's not true. I didn't get it at a Goodwill. I got it at a local thrift store. So I probably spent about $10 on it. Sometimes the prices are higher, sometimes they're lower. Anyway, so cute, had pockets, loved it, was so excited. Had it listed really high because comps were pretty high, but I just been getting a bunch of lowball offers, and now that sales have kind of slowed down, and I do have a lot of dresses in my inventory that are finally starting to move. When someone offered me $50, I did just decide to accept, which is still a great price. And after fees, I made $40. And then the last thing I sold on Sunday was a pretty quick sale. It was these BDG, which is an Urban Outfitters house brand. They were the wide leg puddle low rise jean. And I got these out of Savers pretty recently, and I don't really pay up for BDG, but I just really liked the style. They were a great color. Brown is still really trendy. Wide leg, trendy. I didn't realize they were like low rise when I bought them, but when I found the model photo and I took measurements, I realized they were low rise, but in like a really cool way. I loved the model photo for it. I knew these were going to do well, so I was glad that they sold quickly. I did recently see this article about, you know, trends going out of style and trends coming into style. And apparently puddle jeans is like a thing. I think it kind of means like baggy jeans that like, you know, puddle, I guess, at the bottom. But these literally were called the puddle jean by this brand. So all that to say, maybe puddle would be a good keyword to start using because it seems like something that people might be looking for. These ended up selling for $43, and after fees I made $32.38, and I probably spent a little less than $10 on those. Next on Monday, I had 4 sales. I sold this Smart Wool quarter zip men's pullover. I love Smart Wool. I love that brand. I love selling it. Same with Icebreaker. I kind of intermix the two. The two are kind of like the same in my brain to the point where sometimes I'll be listing a Smart Wool piece and accidentally list it as Icebreaker and not realize it for a while. That happened to me before. But anyway, this was a Smart Wool piece. I found it at the bins. So high quality. I did notice that there were some holes in the front of it, and I knew that at the bins, but I still decided to pick it up because someone could get it fixed if they wanted to, but also these are usually worn as like base layers or layering pieces. So if you wear something underneath, it's not really gonna matter if there's a hole in it. And if you wear something over it, no one's even gonna see it. They're more known for just like being high quality and used for that. So I still listed it. I still picked it up. I still listed it for pretty high. And it sold for what I had it listed at, which was $45. And after fees on Poshmark, I made $36. Then I sold this Forever 21 distressed denim skirt. I've had this for a while. I want to say I got it at the bins, probably in Portland. And I actually had pulled it to bring to Plato's Closet. I have like a couple of bags I want to bring to them soon, which has a lot of denim skirts that I've been sitting on. But it is now just getting into skirt season. So I'm like, do I hold on to them? I don't know. If I could send them to Plato's Closet and they'll give me cash on the spot for them, I would prefer that at this point. But this did end up selling before I could delist it. Sold for $10, and after fees I made $5.03. Then I sold these Victoria's Secret vintage gold label silk pants. I find a decent amount of like vintage Victoria's Secret at the bins that I go to, and I just like it. I don't know how really popular it is, and you guys have probably heard good things about their gold label. I found it several times. It's nothing like that exciting to me at this point because it doesn't sell for that much. I mean, depending on the piece, I'm sure, but like it itself doesn't sell for that much or that quickly. But these were really gorgeous, like perfect condition silk pajama pants in a good size. I'm not quite sure, maybe a large or an extra large, but these ended up selling for $27, and then after fees I made $19.58. Then the last thing I sold on Monday was this really basic J. Crew silk like tank top camisole. I picked this up at the bins just because it was J. Crew and 100% silk and in good condition. I was not expecting to get much for it, but it also weighs like nothing, so I probably didn't really pay much for it. Ended up selling for $10 on Poshmark, and after fees I made $7.05. Then Tuesday the 9th, which was my husband's birthday, which was exciting, I had 2 sales. I sold these Joe's men's classic jeans, and I sold these on Mercari. I picked these up at the bins. I like to pick up Joe's jeans. I think that they have a following. I think they're high quality. They are expensive to begin with, but they don't resell for too much. Usually I get around the like high 20s, low 30 mark. But usually with high quality jeans like Joe's, Paige, other brands that I can't think of right now that don't do super well for me in women's jeans tend to do pretty well for me in men's jeans. So I picked these up at the bins. They were like new. Ended up selling for $27 on Mercari, and after fees I made $22.80. And the last thing I sold on Tuesday were these Lululemon speed up shorts. These were a little bit of an older style. I picked these up at a local thrift store. I want to say for maybe like, again, $10 or less. It's just hard for me to pass up Lululemon. I love having it in my closet. It brings in a lot of attention. It gets a lot of attention and it can sell quickly, you know, if you price it right. These ended up selling for $35 and after fees I made $28. And then Wednesday the 10th, which was actually my cat Wednesday's birthday, I only had one sale like at the very end of the day. I really thought it was going to be a no sale day, which I haven't had in a while now, and I was going to be really disappointed. But I got one sale. It was very small. It was these Levi's mid-length shorts. I like selling shorts in the summer. All brands tend to do pretty well for me. Shorts in general for me don't really get a high dollar amount. That's why I don't really source them at thrift stores. I just mostly look for them at the bins. I do source skirts, however, at like thrift stores because I feel like I get more for skirts than I can for shorts. But anyway, these ended up selling for $13 and after fees I made $8.03. And then Thursday the 11th, I had 3 sales. I sold these Athleta Farallon jogger. I don't know how you pronounce that. I got these at the bins and I was very excited. It was a newer style because I had the style name by the size. And I sold a very similar style prior to this that I found at the bins. Like a cargo jogger pant that had wear to it, but still sold like immediately for like $18. These I was hoping to get like in that 50 mark, but I get them home and I find out that they're a petite. Somehow at the bins, I just am like blind to like the labels that very clearly say that they're a petite. I think I just am not that great about checking sizes, but they still sold, which was great. You know, I don't do well with petites, so to have them sell at all, I'm very happy about. They actually sold for $36, which was great, and then after fees, I made $25.82. Then I sold this Nike Black Club hoodie in a 3XL tall. I like picking up these sweatshirts. I pick them up quite frequently, the club hoodie, and then there's also like a full zip women's version that I've done well with. They're just kind of like a bread and butter pickup to me. I used to find them more often in Portland, because that's where Nike's headquartered, but I still see it because it's kind of sold everywhere. But I'm pretty sure I have like 100% sell-through rate on this type of sweater. And it was a bigger size, which was fantastic. It ended up selling for $38 on Poshmark, and after fees I made $30.40. And then the last thing I sold on Thursday was this 12 p.m. by Mon Ami, which is probably not how you pronounce that, but a black jumpsuit. I got this at the bins. This is the second time I found this brand. I can't remember if the first time I got it at the bins or if I got it in like a mystery box, but I remember it getting a lot of attention and selling really quickly, and it was just a top. And I was like, I'll try it again. I wish I found a model photo for this because I don't think my photos were the best. It was kind of hard to photograph, but it still sold, which I am more than happy about. And I don't really know anything about this brand. I think it's like a boutique brand, but it sells. Not for much, but it sells, which is great. But anyway, I ended up selling for $18 and after fees I made $12.38. And then Friday the 12th, I had 5 sales. I sold these J. Crew pink leather loafers. I've actually had these for a really long time, either from 2020 or 2021. I got these in a THREDUP shoebox and I've just been sitting on them. However, they finally sold. They sold for $22 and after fees I made $15.58. Then I had an eBay sale. I mentioned maybe last week that I've started listing on eBay again. Nothing crazy. I'm not trying to pay for a storefront, just cross-listing things on there, trying to get more sales. And I cross-listed these jeans onto there. The brand is either Subi or Kasubi. It's K-S-U-B-I. Originally, I thought it was T-S-U-B-I, and that's how I had listed them like the first time I listed them on Poshmark before I cross-listed them. And then later that week I actually found a dress by this brand that was new with tags that spelt out the brand, K-S-U-B-I. And so I made sure to change the brand on everything. And then with that came, you know, better comps. So I raised the price on Poshmark to like over 100, but on my other platforms, I guess I didn't change the price, which is fine. I originally listed them at 50. These ended up selling for 50 on eBay, and then after fees I made $45.78, and those came from the bins. And it's a new to me brand. I've heard a couple of people mention it since then, so maybe something to keep a lookout for. Then I sold this Urban Pipeline flannel. I literally forgot that this was in my inventory. I got this a long time ago. I want to say from like a men's rescue box from THREDUP. Don't remember. I ended up selling for $7, and after fees I made $2.03. Then I sold this Eileen Fisher silk linen little like jacket thing. I got this at the bins. When I see Eileen Fisher at the bins, I almost always pick it up. Does Eileen Fisher sell well for me? No. It's been doing a lot better though. I will say that. The last couple of things I've gotten at the bins have actually sold really quickly, which is great. This jacket, however, I didn't list very high. I think it's a gorgeous color, really fun, different, great materials, but it did have a lot of like just material wear to it. So I didn't list it very high, and it was a petite. So I wasn't excited about that. If I saw it was a petite at the bins, I might have passed on it. Or I might have still picked it up to send to like a buy, sell, trade store or something. I don't know. But anyway, it only ended up selling for 16, which is fine. And after fees, I made $10.78. And then the last thing I sold on Friday was a very recent bins pickup. It was these Lulu's metallic bow platform sandals. I got these at the bins recently. Shoes at the bins that I go to in Sacramento, you pay per pair. So each pair is $3.05. It used to be that in Portland, it was just like with the weight, so it wasn't separate. But here they're separate, which is fine. I'm very picky about it. And I feel like the shoes are pretty picked over at the bins. And I have to remember to like take them out of my bag and everything. So it's a whole thing. So I don't really spend too much time looking at the shoes is what I'm trying to say. But I saw these, really cute. I hear a lot of people say that metallic is going to be really big for this spring and summer. So that was another reason I was excited about them. I know they make a similar shoe to this, Lulu's, that's like a heel with the bow. That looks a lot like the LaFleur Randall shoes. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that brand. Again, I've mentioned this before. I should know. They were my wedding shoes, that brand. But they have a very popular bow shoe that's really expensive that I wanted to wear so badly for my wedding. But I literally eloped in the jungle, so they would have been ruined. Anyway. Really cute shoes, sold pretty quickly, ended up selling for 30, which is what I had them listed at, and after fees I made 24. And then yesterday, Saturday, the 13th, I had 4 sales. I sold this new tag Show Me Your Moo Moo jumpsuit. This is not a brand that I even think I would pick up today, but I got this jumpsuit in a mystery box in the year 2020. And I have been sitting on this piece and 2 other pieces from that box. There were definitely things in that box that sold really quickly, and I'm sure I made my money back way back when in 2020, but I still have a few pieces that are new at tag that are just so hard for me to part with, like to donate it. But I also had just pulled this to bring to Plato's Closet as well, and now somebody is offering me like money for it. I probably just had it listed too high, but comps were really high. I think comps are high on this brand if you can sell it. If you could sell it, you're going to sell it for a lot of money. But most people, I think, are having a hard time even selling it. Ended up selling for 25, and after fees, I made $17.98. So that's good, because it's probably more than what Plato's Closet would have ended up giving me. I'm just glad to see it move on. Then I had another Mercari sale. This new tags, Willet is the brand, hiking shorts. I got these at the bins. I didn't realize they were women's, but they were a good size, I think a 2XL. I got them because they were new at tags and shorts. Find out that they're actually an Amazon brand, so they're not that expensive, but they still ended up selling on Mercari for $12, and after fees I made $9.81. Then I had a really quick sale. I think this ended up selling the same day I listed it, which was yesterday. It was this Torrid floral cardigan. Again, a really recent bins pickup. It was a size 2X, which is great. I've been picking up Torrid quite often at the bins recently, and they're all newer styles that I've been finding. But I haven't had too much like movement on the pieces, so I am glad that this sold so quickly. Really pretty, like easy cardigan, like a floral paisley print. It was really pretty. And I found a model photo for it, which was great. Ended up selling for $21, and after fees I made $14.78. And the last thing I sold last week was this somersault button-up 2XL top. I got this at the bins months ago. It's been a little while, but Somersault is a great like beachy brand, I want to say. I think they make really expensive like swimsuits and also clothing. I was surprised to see this at the bins, but I was happy. And yeah, it was really cute. I had it listed at 70 and it was getting a lot of attention like over time. But somebody yesterday offered me 35 and I had just cross-listed it to eBay. So I was like, I counter offered 45 and they accepted, which is great because 90% of the time nowadays when I counter offer something, they either don't respond or they counter offer going up like $1. So I was really happy about that. Ended up selling for 45 and after fees, I made 36. So yeah, that was my sales this week. Hopefully a little bit of a quicker video. I did not write down my totals because I forgot, but it was a slower week. Hopefully this week starts to pick up. I just listed some things that I'm really excited about, so fingers crossed. That summer slowdown has not started yet, even though it is plenty hot. It was like 90 degrees here yesterday. I'm not sure if I said that. But yeah, again, a happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. And I hope you guys have a great time sourcing and selling this week. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye!